Daniel had been driving rideshares in Chicago for almost 3 years, mostly late evenings and weekend nights. He preferred the night shift because traffic was lighter. Passengers were usually straightforward, and pickups around River North, Wicker Park, and Logan Square kept his earnings consistent. On Thursday night in early November, temperatures dropped unexpectedly fast after sunset. By 11:30, the sidewalks were already quieter than usual, and most requests were short city trips between apartments and train stations. At 12:12 a.m., Daniel accepted a pickup near North Milwaukee Avenue, just a few blocks from the Diamond Blue Line station. Passenger name showed as Lorraine. The pickup point was outside a small three-story residential building with older brickwork typical for the part of the neighborhood. When Daniel arrived, no one was outside. He messaged through the app, "I'm here." He got no response for that message, but about a minute later, a woman stepped out of the building entrance. She appeared to be in her mid-twenties, wearing a long dark coat, holding her phone loosely at her side. Nothing unusual about her appearance except that she seemed distracted, as if thinking about something unrelated. She got into the back seat and gave a quiet greeting. Destination appeared, an address near West Fulton Avenue, about a 12 minutes drive away. The ride started normally. Lauren didn't speak much, but that was common for lake rides. Many passengers just wanted to get home quiet. At one point, Daniel noticed she was looking outside the window rather than at her phone. About halfway through the ride, she asked, "Have you ever driven near the river at night?" Daniel said, "Yes, plenty of times." She nodded slightly, but didn't continue the conversation. When they arrived at the destination, it was a quiet residential street lined with older houses and low apartment buildings. He thanked him, stepped out, and walked towards the side of the building rather than directly to the main entrance. Daniel completed the trip and continued working. About 40 minutes later, around 1 or 5 a.m., he accepted another request only a few blocks away, near Northwestern Avenue. When the passenger entered the car, Daniel noticed immediately that it was the same woman, same coat, same voice, and same calm manner of speaking. Greeted him again, as if they had not already met earlier that night. Daniel assumed she may have been visiting someone nearby. The new destination was again back at Milwaukee Avenue. During the ride, she just asked Daniel if he usually worked this late every night, and Daniel responded yes most of the times. He said quietly, "I don't usually take rides this late." The statement didn't seem strange at the time. When they arrived at the drop-off location, she thanked him again and walked towards the same type of older brick building as before. Daniel didn't think much about it, but the next afternoon, while reviewing his trip history to calculate expenses, something caught his attention. The first ride with Lorraine appeared normally. The second ride did not show her name. Instead, the passenger field was blank. No name or profile image, just a pickup location and drop-off location. Daniel assumed it was an app glitch. A few days later, on Sunday night, he received another ride request from the same avenue area around 12:20 a.m. Passenger name once again Lorraine. When she entered the car, she seemed slightly more talkative than before. She asked how long he had been driving, and she asked whether he preferred night shifts. Just the usual normal small talk. But when Daniel mentioned he had driven her earlier that week, she looked very confused. He said, "I don't think so." Daniel mentioned the pickup street. She shook her head slightly. "I haven't used rideshares this week." Daniel assumed she might not have remembered, but when they arrived at the destination, she paused before exiting the car and asked, was the passenger name definitely Lorraine? And if Daniel had seen her before? Daniel confirmed yes. He hesitated briefly, then said, "That's very strange." He explained that she had only been using the rideshare account that evening because her car was in repair shop. Before leaving, she added, "My sister used to use this account, but she is no longer with her." Daniel did not ask her further questions, but later that night, curiosity led him to check the earlier trip receipts again. The first ride with Lorraine still showed normally. Second ride still showed no passenger name, and the profile image was also missing. Daniel eventually forgot about the situation until 2 weeks later when he picked up a different passenger near West Fulton Avenue. During casual conversation, the passenger mentioned that a young woman who had lived in that building had passed away earlier that year after being struck by a car while crossing the road at night. Daniel did not immediately connect the information, but later, when reviewing old receipts, he again noticed the original pickup location from the first ride had been less than a block from the reported accident site. After that time, he continued his rides in that neighborhood, hoping that he might encounter the same woman again, but he never received another ride request under the same name again. Even now, this lies as a strange mystery in Daniel's mind.